Well, hello world, and welcome right back into my garden. This is Anne from Yardsteading in Jamaica. Again, I want to encourage you who have not yet subscribed to subscribe, to leave a comment, to like the videos, and to share with your friends and neighbors. To those who have already become subscribers, thank you for entering into this family. In today's video, I'm going to be giving some TLCs to some of my plants. These are not plants that we eat from. These are purely for beautification purpose, but they have been having a rough time. Some need to be broken down, while others just need to have a little trim, if you understand me. All right, we soon get into the video. I don't know if you know all the names of these plants, but I surely don't know what all of them name is. I know my mother used to call this cocoa rose. So this one, I know Mama used to say it named Cocoa Rose. So if this is Cocoa Rose, then I'd have, what, about 3 varieties. So that is this one with the speckles, the one without the speckles, and a green one. All of them. I think some have been, the container is too small. This one definitely, because it's in one of this. I painted them because I don't like when they turn green. But alas, I'm going to have to put them in there before I paint them, the strip, because I am totally out of paint right now. All right, so what I normally do is I don't cut the bottoms. I make holes on the side about an inch or so up. Why? So that when the plant is watered, the water don't seep all the way out. So the bottom section act like a reservoir. It still leaks. The plant won't get root rot. Whatever little water is in there, so if you don't remember to water for a day or two, somebody sound guilty right here? Yeah. If you don't remember to water for a day or two, your plant won't just keel over and die. All right? Because you'd have had a little reservoir in the bottom that the water would stay in. All right. So I'm going to be using my clipper to clip it. My daughter said I don't need to clip them. I can just break them off with my hand. I tried that on a number of occasions, and it's either me too strong or the plant too strong, because somebody come out damaged, and it's always the plant. So I'm erring on the side of caution today, and I'm going to cut off using the clipper, the tool that is required to do the job. So I'm going to be dividing this one down. It has about 4 different suckers in there. So I'm going to be taking out 2. I'm going to be breaking that down as well. I'm going to divide that into 2. This one I might divide as well. I'm not sure yet. I just might. All this one I'm going to do is get a nice little trim. So I'm going to be removing some of the ones that are yellowing on there. And then that will be it. So stay tuned now. I need to get them on top of something so that I don't have to bend so low. All right. Soil. This is a combination of some of the same soil that I have potted up for the onion transplant, which by the way is supposed to be tomorrow, because tomorrow will be day 7 for the onions. I won't show you what's happening with them again until tomorrow. So I'm going to be mixing this. This is soil and manure. I might add some leaf into it, but I'm thinking that I won't add the leaf into the mix, but to use it as mulch to retain more moisture in the soil, because some of them become very dry very quickly based on the planting medium. Um, I this one I brought from the country 2 years ago. 2 little leaves sent, and I went to my father's funeral, and I brought this one up. This I've had for about 5 or 6 years. Somebody gave me a little piece and it has multiplied. I like it because it always looks so clean and nice. This plant that looked like a grass is actually a flower. It blooms a pretty. When I say pretty, it blooms a very pretty pink flower. but it only blooms once per year. So it blooms early December and then it don't bloom again. So I have this one that I brought from the country the same time as well. Actually I divided it into two parts, and one of the container fell over and the plant died. But this need to be divided as well. And I think I need to get a bigger container for it, which I don't have today, so that won't happen today. Alrighty then. Let's get right into the action. No? I think I'm going to need another buckle, so I'm going to cut off the top of this one. Now I don't know nobody else but me who can use even a ruler make a lean line. And as much as this buckle have these sections marked out where I can cut in, I always have a problem keeping it straight. But I'm going to try to keep it as straight as is humanly possible. Alright. I don't throw these away because sometimes I plant in these too. So all I'm going to do is get cap them and plant in them. Let me take this up now. Come back over here to unroll. Alright, so to get the holes in the bottom, so all of this section is going to remain solid, and I'm going to cut the holes in this area. Right. Girl, you know you don't use that hand. Why you there trying to make? Alright. So the holes kind of big so that we have seepage properly when it is necessary. Come back! What an unruly something. Come over here. Alright, so I need only 4 holes. That's one. And I need to put one on the other 3 corners. Okay. Alright, that's 2. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. I actually love no mother. Mother dead, father dead. Miss a proper older fan. So I don't know when me at that, but sometimes I feel like I don't know already say Miss a motherless child. Need help. I tell you. Alright, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put out all of the rest of the old them and the rest of the pan them, and then I'll come back, alright? Okay, so I discovered, or should I say rediscovered, that I have an old toilet tank and it have holes in the bottom, and I'm going to transfer one of my flowers into it. Because it is ceramic. I am flower spot, you know. I dare one of you to laugh. This is a high-end flower spot. Then if this was a real flower pot, you know how much I'd pay for it? Can anybody just hazard a guess at the price that this nice piece of pottery would have cost me? Okay, well, I'm going to be transplanting this beauty into this. Okay, so I have taken the liberty to put some of the soil that is needed in there, because this is such a heavy container. I'm going to use my leg and hold it, because it's not going to mash up anymore, because they're not going to laugh after me. Alright, so I'm squeezing this to loosen it up while I'm being very gentle and pulling it out at the same time, okay? So, alright, it's coming. There we go. There. And that, my people, is the transfer of one plant. So what I'll do, you see, it has room now and it will spread and fill this, so when it blooms, wow, this is going to be gorgeous. Yes. pretty things in the yard again. Oh, oh, pretty things in the yard again. And my apologies, folks. I tend to go off like that from time to time. All right. So I'm going to be putting some of this soil mix into it to fill in the blank spaces, okay? And then I'll call it one. One transplant done. Okay. So I'm going to be filling in the sides that need to be filled in right now. And at the end of it all, I'll just make one major water and water everybody together. All right? And that will lessen all of my stress. So one watering to water everybody. All right? And I'll make you have a look seeing everybody at the end of it. All right? Okay. All right. Can take a little bit more soil. Okay. A little bit more up here. Oh, this side want a little bit more than that side. All right, folks. All right. So I'll call this one. Don't ask me where I'm going to put this because where I had the little pan, this not going to order. So now I'm going to have to reinvent space, okay? All right. That looks like enough now. All right. So this is one. Excuse me while I find a place to put this. All right, so that is one down and many more to go. So this one, I think I'm going to slit the container open and then divide it, and I'm going to reuse this one that I just took that grassy looking flowers from and one of the smaller ones. So the division process is going to be between these two containers. So this is what I normally do. I normally put some soil in the bottom of the containers. Then after I unmold the flower from the pot, this one does need to have this cut off. So I'm going to be cutting this off right down there. That's all I have to throw away from this one. And then I'm going to be using the knife to slit the container open. I try not to disturb the root system and get it as best as possible to be divided into two so as not to sabotage the plant. All right, so that is the container. Opening up, opening up, opening up. All right. Oh, this is a lot of sand. Oops, not what I thought it was at the onset. It is more sand than anything else. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll divide this portion into one and this portion into one because these two are distinctively different. So just hold them out while I do that. I'm going to be applying the knife in there somewhere to break it apart as gently as it. Ha ha! Wow! It divided in twain. Okay. I hope I didn't do it any damage because you see that? I never realized it. So, oh, that's why it named Cocoa Rose because the batch actually look like one cocoa still. Pardon me, French folks. I really didn't know that this was what it looked like. Hey, all right. So as not to create any further mess than I already am making. All right. So lay down like that, Mama. And I took you out, and I pray that by cutting the stem in two, or should I say the root in two, I have not created a problem. All right, so that would be one, and I just need to finish filling up this pot. Oh, can take the soil from there. Oh, and this one have a baby coming on it, you know. Look at that. Don't know if you can see in the pot. Can you see? That is a sucker coming up right there. Okay. And this one goes into this container. So again, I put it to lay down and I try my best to lift the child out and cut it up. That's right. All right, so now this is further subdivided because this one just never decided to want to be a nice player. So I have 2 pieces in there. All right, no problem. I have soil to take it back down. Good. Cover, cover, cover. Cover. Are you seeing what I'm doing? All right. So, cover. I thought what I was on was high enough. Do apologize. Because when you're as tall as I am, you believe everybody have the same short deficit, you see? All right. So, there we go. So, that is 2 plants down and a couple more to go. All right. So, I'm going to be watering these in shortly. This one can take some more soil, so I'm going to put some more soil in it. Alright. Firm it in a little. Don't need to kill it, but just firm it in some. Alright. There we go. Alright. The broken leaves did not happen during this process. I came home and I saw the leaf broken. I think that is what attracted me to do this today. I think the cat went to play in my flowers again. That cat. All right, so that's done. Oh, tell me where that plant going. All right, you need it to have gone that way. Good. All right, this is good. And I just fill some more soil in there. Fabulous. All right, so that's 2 down. And you need to go next. All right, so I'm going to be breaking another one down. Only this time I'm going to have to try to take it out without destroying the container because my plan is to divide this particular flower into 3. So I have 2 additional containers and I'm going to have to reuse the container that it is in. Oh, you know what, folks? I'm going to be short of a container, so one of them not going to get divided today. Or maybe instead of breaking that down into 3, I do it into 2 so that I can actually divide the other one because it needs to be divided. All right, so here we go. We're on a quest. We are on a quest to fix up the flowers. So soiling, soiling. And I'm going to go divide now. Who's coming next? Punching at the liquor fellow. What can you do? Aha! This one comes out so easily. Okay, now child. It talk too soon. Alright, turn this thing on. Oops. Okay. Alrighty. Let's turn this one on its side and see if we can pull it out. Okay. Hey. I want you to look at the root. See how long the root is? Because it was planted in something like this. The root went right through the hole and never kept this one. Alright, so I'm going to be just dividing it into this way. That way. I'm going to be very gentle with the roots, trying to tease them apart, so to speak, so I don't cause minimal, if any, damage. Yeah! That was a success. I'm so sorry. So that's one. And I'll put this child back into a regular place. That's 2. And all I have to do is add some soil to it now. Just tap it back up with soil. And I'm good to go. Alright, so this one wants a little trimming, and I'm going to do that as well. This dead leaf need to come off. This dead leaf need to come off. All right. One. This one need the knife instead of the shears because it's so limp. Shearing cutting it. All right. Two. So 2 dead leaves are off. Now, can I be honest with you? I don't throw them in the garbage, you know. Throw these in the compost bin. And I compost right where my flowers and plants grow. So these will be chopped up and put right back into these. I was told once that plants store the nutrients in their leaves. So if the leaves are where the nutrients are stored, it makes sense then, no? That when we take the leaves off, we put them right back where they come from, supplying the thing with more of what it needs to grow. There we go. So this is done. And I'll just add some more soil to complete this one after I've taken off this dead section. Now, I don't tell nobody I'm an horticulturalist. I want to know to look what is in my flowers. You see that? Slugs in my flowers. I'm being kind to them today and I'm not killing them. All right, so this needs a little bit more soil to finish topping it up. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Tapping it up. And because it now is divided, it has room to grow. So sooner rather than later, I can subdivide this again. I started off with something like this. And this is what I have done. Almost all of them was similar to this. 2 little strands, and they keep fulling out and fulling out and fulling out. And I appreciate plants that give and give and give, you know. I don't like mean plants. I like the ones that give and I can share with family and friends. So, I might be gifting a few of these to others. Who knows? If anybody have need of 1 or 2, you can message me, no? Yeah. So we share. All right, so this is done. So the last one on the list for dividing is this baby. Like the other one, I'm going to turn it on its side and try to pull it out of the container with the soil attached to the root. So here we go. We turn it on its side. Gently roll the container. I might have to do more than one side to pull this one out. Not budging at all. All right, let's try something else now. And this can be divided in 2, you know, because that's kind of how they are. Come, leaves are intertwined here. See? This is one section and that's another section. So I might be able to divide it differently than the way I thought I would. This might pose a problem because I'm looking down in there and the roots are twirled around. So, all right. Bear with me a second until I get this out, all right? I'm telling you, this one was a real struggle. Finally got it to break apart. So here is one, potted up. So what I will do to keep them kind of upward for a spell or 2 is to probably stake it and tie it, but not for long, just until the plants have reset, and then I'll just remove it. So it's not going to be anything that is super strong, just a little piece of bramble. Stick it in there and just tie them to it so them stay upright until the plants have reset and the soil is settled around the roots properly again. So that is one. All right, so in the process of dividing, I ended up with each of these have a bulb on the bottom. So I'm going to put these 2 in one container because I really don't have a lot of containers right now. I think I can find myself a small pot here. And I'm going to be potting this one up in this pot. And then I have this that can be further subdivided, but I won't because, again, for a lack of pots. So this is going to go back into its original house, and I'm going to be potting this up in the little brown pot. All right, so stand by. So into the little brown pot it goes. I have a little bit of soil in the bottom of the brown pot already, and I'm just going to be filling it in with soil. 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 All right. I need a little more soil. I'm going to have to empty up back because I only put one in there. Excuse me, please. I want both of them to be anchored in the same manner. You need to be properly anchored in this pot. All right, let's go again. This is take number 2 on this particular pot, you see? All right, I'm hoping that I won't have to do a take number 3. No, don't think so. I think I got it. I got it this time. I've gotten it. My mother proud of me. These are the things my mother would sit down and do, you know. Lord and butter, sit down and talk to the plants. Anybody over here talk to them plants? Leave a comment in the section down below. My mother sit and she talk to all the plants like they were people. No wonder the people them they think she cuckoo. Not a thing never wrong with Rosie though, you know. She was in her right mind. Guess the plants don't answer back, so she good. Alright, so that's 2 down. And this must go right back into its original container, which would be this pot. So here I am, sticking some soil back in the bottom and just putting it back in there. And then I'm going to be filling it around with soil. I'm filling it around with soil. Okay, filling it up with soil. That's what I'm doing. Right, this was such a difficult do. And I found out that it's because the container have so much ridges. So the thing got stuck in the ridges and it was so difficult to come out. All right. So the potting up session will soon be over. And then I'll showcase my handiwork. I only have one plant left to look after. So when I've trimmed that one, I don't have a lot of stuff on there because I started trimming them off before I decided I'm going to do the video. So I think I've had 1 or 2 yellowing leaves left on it. I know that need a bigger pot, but I'm going to have to buy a bigger pot for that particular plant and then up pot it. And this stick take more soil than I thought it would need. Oh. Right. I have a little bit left in the container. I can lift it up with my hand and just pour it out in there. Okay, I can put it aside now. Alright. So, alright. So now, like I said to you, I'm going to need to find homes for all of these containers. What was 3 has now morphed into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have multiplied by 3. So what was 3 is now 9. I have some soil on the ground that I'm going to be taking up and putting into the pot. So if you see the top of my head, it's not faint. I'm just scraping up the soil, all right? Okay guys, so this is a finished product. So those are my scallion looking plant. You notice the gaps in the middle? Don't worry. It is bulbous like most of these other plants, and it will expand. It will send out more bulbs, and in no time it's going to be filled out. So these are all of them now grouped together. All right, they're going to be staying in this little shaded area until they have all regrouped, so to speak, and then I'll find individual homes for them. So until we meet again in our next video, this is Anne saying, have a blessed night and Jah guide.